What if you knew exactly who was interested in buying from you so you can follow up and sell to them?
What if you never had to do any hard selling ever again?
What if you had a waiting list of people waiting to buy from you?
Watch this video to find out how to get clients, increase sales, and get more customers.
Let's take away the frustration of having to constantly fret about where the next sale is coming from. Because in this video, we're going to give you 5 ways to make sure you have constant leads coming into your business. Let's do this!
So whether you have an audience or not, the key to sales is to find out who in your network is ready or has the potential to buy. To do this, we need to go metaphorically fishing in our network with our metaphorical fishing bait or tackle or worm or something. I do a lot of fishing.
With his tackle or worm. We call Pete's tackle hand raiser content.
Can't have that.
Yeah, we can. No, it's staying in. But before we explain what hand raiser content is and how it's helped people quadruple their sales in a matter of weeks, we first wanted to invite you to our 30-day Get a New Client Challenge.
Woo! It's essentially a 30-day trial of Atomic for just £7. And in that time, you're going to get all the accountability, support, training, and even one-to-one support from us to help you smash your sales targets and get a new client, get some new sales, increase those customers.
The idea is that if you do get a new client, you can continue on with Atomic to replicate that success. If you don't, then we'll give you a refund.
It's a no-brainer. Basically, £7, you get a new client or you get a refund. So if you want more clients, and I presume that's why you're watching this video, then click on the link below and get started on the 30-day challenge for yourself.
Alright, while you go pause this video and enroll, when you come back, we're going to explain hand raiser content.
There are 5 different types of hand raiser content that are going to help you get sales. And basically, hand raiser content is just gated content whereby you know who's accessed that content, which allows you thus to follow up.
This is the best way to get sales because it takes out all the awkwardness of it.
For example, it feels a little bit icky to go up to someone and say, "Hey, you should buy from me. I don't know you yet, but you should totally buy from me."
Weirdo.
But if a potential customer was to come up to us, like Andrew, and come up to us and say,
"Hey, tell me about your product. I'm interested."
"Woo!" all of a sudden that sales process comes a lot more naturally and easier, right? Because they've already qualified themselves and come up to us and said they're interested. And now the job is much easier.
So how do we do it? Well, like we said, there's 5 ways to do this. And the first is something that you might have heard of already. Buyer intent lead magnets. This is where you would promote a gated piece of content in return for an email address. But to make this a hand raiser, importantly, the thing that they are downloading must signal some buyer intent. Like, I'm downloading this because I'm interested in finding out more about how I can buy from you. For example, having a price guide download, or maybe a free shipping coupon, or a free trial, or maybe even a specific webinar that's all around solving a specific problem that your product or service also solves.
A lot of people grow their list with newsletters or 100% value add lead magnet downloads, and that's all fine, that's perfectly great. But if you mix in a couple of buyer intent lead magnets into the mix, then all of a sudden you know who is hot out of your list, out of your network, and you can go and follow up with them. Unfortunately, because you now have their email address, you can follow up.
And that's what hand raiser content does. It gets people to raise their hand, say, "Hey, I am interested in buying," and it allows you to follow up with them with more information to close that sale.
If we want more sales, all we have to do is be more proactive with creating hand raisers so that we know who is interested. So we never run out of leads.
And this is just the first type, buyer intent lead magnets. They download something, give you their email address, the higher intent to buy, the better.
The next hand raiser is what we call direct contact. This is where people basically just directly tell us they're interested.
An example would be someone directly contacting you through your website, or maybe dropping you a DM on social, or even something like filling out a get a quote form.
Now this might seem really obvious at first glance, but here's what we want you to start doing. Start being more proactive in getting people to raise their hand in this way, rather than just sitting back and waiting for the leads to just walk on in to your front door.
to that contact form. So if you're creating regular content, let's say on social, you can say things like, hey, if you want to know more about this service, then drop me a message right here, right now. Or if you're doing this in stories, like Instagram stories or Facebook stories or Snapchat stories, you can say, swipe up and send me a message if you want to talk about this right now in DMs. Or before you launch a new service, why not do a poll on social media for your audience and say something like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Would you be interested in this? Yes or no? And then everyone that votes yes, you can go and follow up with them when it launches. Now, there's loads of ways to do this, but see with all of those examples, how we're not just waiting, we're actually being proactive in trying to get people to raise their hand in this way. And so when we follow up, it's not awkward at all because they've already indicated that they want more information.
The next 3 hand raisers coming up are all really, really cool. And if you want to know more about all of these hand raisers, then in our 30-day Get a New Client Challenge, we've got more in-depth training and support all around hand raiser content and loads of ideas about how to proactively generate more leads. And when I say loads, I mean there's over like 70 ideas for how to get new clients this month.
So go check that out, link is in the description. But number 3 is remarketing. A clever way to get people to raise their hand is to get them to do it without actually knowing that they're doing it.
Ooh.
For example, Facebook allows us to create custom audiences of people who have watched a certain percentage of our videos or people that have been on certain pages on our website. So if we can create an audience of people who, let's say, have been on that work with us page on your website, or who maybe have watched up to 90% of a straight sales video that you posted on Facebook, can you see how, in essence, this is almost like these people are raising their hand and saying, yes, I'm interested, because if I wasn't interested, I wouldn't have watched 90% of that sales video.
You don't accidentally do that.
No.
Now, Facebook won't actually give you their details, but it will allow you to remarket to them with an ad. And those remarketing ads are often a lot more effective because they are going to a warmer audience of people that are already interested and raise their hand. Let us know in the comments if you do any of these hand raisers so far. There's 2 more to go, and the last one is awesome.
Okay, the 4th hand raiser is being tagged via email when clicking on a specific link that you've sent out in an email campaign.
So for example, if you were to send out an email about your coaching program and people clicked on it but didn't necessarily buy, they raised their hand, they're interested, go follow up. You could send them a follow-up email, you could send them a Bonjoro or a video email. Just try and start a conversation with these people.
Because I guarantee there are people on your email list right now that are just on the fence about buying. And it's time, guys, to get them over the line. Go back and look to see who has been clicking on what and who we can follow up with.
The 5th type of hand raiser to get people raising those hands is messenger bots. And they're freaking cool. There's so much you can do with messenger bots, but one of our favorite things to do is to have a chatbot pop up on your website, and more specifically on your sales pages.
Essentially, it can have an automated conversation to qualify visitors to that sales page into hot prospects. From here, the bot can convince them to buy, or you can jump in and have that one-to-one conversation with your prospects yourself. This has revolutionized our sales, and it just works really well.
And if you want to make one yourself, in Atomic, we've got a foolproof step-by-step course developed by the world's best chatbot expert, ready to help you do this and convert more sales from your website. And you can get access to that as part of our 30-day £7 trial as well. So are you excited now about getting stuck into those sales and getting some new customers? Or are you just feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything? Maybe you're thinking, I'm still not sure, maybe this isn't right for me, it's not going to work for me. Maybe you're thinking, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, there's so much to do, where do I start? You know what, I'm just not even comfortable selling at all. I don't have the confidence to just get out there and do all this stuff. It sounds a bit overwhelming to me, and you know what? Even if I did have all that, I'm just too busy. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get all this stuff done. I'm just too busy. I've got too much client work on.
Well, if that's you, we have 2 things to help. Well, firstly, keep watching because the next video in this playlist is all about uncovering the deeper reasons why you might not be selling as much as you could. And more importantly, how to overcome that so you can have a much bigger sales success. So keep watching for that.
And number 2, why don't you take part in our 30-day trial of Atomic to help give you that laser-like focus, accountability, and support and training to help you get a new client in the next 30 days, or just loads and loads of sales.
It's just 7 squid.
7 squid?
Get a client or get a refund. Hopefully we'll see you inside Atomic, but if not, keep watching for that next video in this playlist. I've been Andrew.
I've been Pete.
See you there.